Right then. I think it's on. Is it on? Right then.
Hello.
Welcome everyone. How's it going?
Hi mate.
Friendo.
It's not very often I see you in person.
I know.
This is privilege.
We're here with Darren from PWS at the Cleaning Expo. We've got Progrip here as well.
Yeah, Daniel is around.
Daniel's son. Is it PWS Progrip mashup now? Are you basically one entity?
No. So what we decided to do is we're changing. Let's talk Progrip for a second. Ignore PWS. We're changing Progrip. Progrip is going to be doing this kind of stuff for distribution purposes for different companies.
I'll show the camera because this is absolutely beautiful. This is the stuff they've made for CleanLink, and this one's a pole adapter. Is that right?
Yeah, slide trigger.
Oh, you've made the quick release as well.
The whole lot.
Release.
Yeah,
that is very cool. And you can print in multiple colours on the same print because of the printers that you've got. So this is all one print.
All one print.
Doesn't have to do it in different sections. That is so cool. So what's that? The slide trigger.
So the trigger goes in the top. So these undo. You put your linear trigger in the top, like that, and then this goes on your pole. And you can move it up and down that first section of your pole, and away you go. Talk of the devil. He's not got a microphone on, so he can't speak. He'll have to get really in down here.
Do you want mine?
No, we don't need to hear from Daniel.
I don't care about Daniel.
I don't care about Daniel. So the biggest thing we've changed is we're not going to be selling retail, this type of stuff. We're just going to do the few grips in grey, but long term we expect to phase that out to distributors.
Right.
So Progrip is just going to sell directly to PWS, whoever else wants to, not just direct using us because we're sat on our stand, but not just directly to us, but anybody that wants their own kit branding.
Daniel mentioned earlier a potential Progrip smelt collaboration.
Yes. Yeah. So, is it the same one that we mentioned on the channel the other night?
No, this was more about pole holders and stuff with my branding on it.
Oh yeah, we're going to do that. Yeah, that's going to happen. Orange ones with some black smelt writing.
You got the V-Tough ones here as well. Have you
turn that the other way around? Yeah. No, they've seen them.
They've seen them.
We're not sure if they're going to buy them or not, but we'll turn it the other way back round again.
That is very cool.
We picked it up. Yeah.
Oh, you don't know if they're going to have it. Okay.
We don't know if they're going to have it at the back. Yeah, we'll put that one. We'll hide that one at the back.
Can we talk about these? Have you got the?
Yeah, the tanks are just
let me
there.
get the tanks because these are sick. So these, before people buy their van-mounted systems, you can see how it's actually going to look. Is that the wrong one?
So if you take your camera down there, so that particular setup there, if you go that way to where Ronald is, you will see that with its 250 tall tank.
Oh, the one with the tank on it?
Yeah, see the one with the tank on the back?
Yeah, so you can see at the shop before you've made your
So then you decide, I don't want the 250 tall tank on the back, I want a 500. How will that impact it?
Yeah.
And there's what a 500 litre looks like on the back of the same thing. So you got your 250 or your 500.
How cool are these? These are absolutely wicked. Actually looks like a tank as well.
And then this is our this is our most popular van mount machine. So this is the Alpha PB, which is this one just here, this first one.
We'll have a little walk around in a minute.
And what we find is people have the 250 tall tank, and imagine the bulkhead of the van's here, and this is the side loader door. They sit that on there.
Yeah.
And some people go, oh, but I need more than 250 litres. So we get the 500 out and we go, so you want it to look like that.
Little modular, it's like Lego.
But then you go, well, actually, you end up with a weird space down this back edge. Why don't you have two 250 talls? Because it takes up a third of the footprint of one 500.
Could you do me one of these? You know how I said about I'd like to stack two machines on top of each other and then have a triple hose reel stacked next to it?
Yes.
Could you make me? That's what we could do on the.
Yes. So, well, this is what I wanted to do, but you're too impatient. You're too impatient. I wanted to model yours properly on CAD, not just the Danielson thing on stream, but model yours properly so you can see what it looked like. Print it. I was then going to do the footprint of the base of your van and then lay it out properly like I'm a kitchen salesman.
Yes, let's do that, 100%.
This is what it'll look like.
Take my money.
But you went, oh, but I don't like your lead times.
Take my money.
But the good news is...
Do you hear that? You know how I was saying I want Jakey's machine stacked on top of my machine with triple hose reels, bigger tank. He's going to 3D
but we
print
can
it
3D
all,
print and model it first.
including the layout of the inside of my van, so we can fit it perfectly.
And work out, and then you can go, oh, can you make this a bit longer, or can you add me a shelf there?
And what are the lead times?
So once it's drawn, actually pretty quick, because we
How
won't...
long's pretty quick? How long's Darren's pretty quick?
Under a week for fabrication and paint.
Really?
Yeah, so we've changed. So either of those two machines there now, one, they're on stock, so the frames are on stock now, but we can have 10 of those made in an evening with the new fabrication company.
The main question is, Zach, have we still got audio? Can you still see? Yeah. The main question is, can I have it in orange, or does it have to be green?
If we did it in a collab, we'll do it in orange for you. If I do you bespoke, I'll let you have it orange.
Maybe we'll have a green racing stripe on it.
I'm thinking I'm just going to hard put in alpha in a couple of places on it, so you can't get away from it.
That's fine.
Even if it's orange, because you know what? Everybody will know it's mine, whether it's green or not. It makes no difference. Because it's so good. Because it'll be awesome.
Let's talk about this.
That's my favourite. That is an
absolute. This is an absolute game changer. The forbidden phrase. This is going to be new Smelty merch coming out soon.
It is though.
First piece of Smelty merch.
It is though, isn't it?
So this. Do you want to describe what this is?
So, I was talking to some friends of mine that do roof cleaning, and they were saying that the biggest problem they've got is when they're up on a roof, they often get pulled backwards by the weight of their hose. Okay, when they're on the towers, they're often pulled backwards. And we were looking at a solution. We're live here, Smithy.
I got full permission.
We're live
from the
here. We're live. We've set it up. We're on camera.
Are you the boss or is he the boss?
That's my sales manager,
Who's
Smithy.
the boss? Are you the boss or is he the boss?
No, Smithy's the boss.
I thought I was
He
getting.
takes orders from me.
Smith is the
When
boss.
he gets away with
I
lots.
thought I was getting permission from the boss, but clearly not.
No, Smith is the boss.
Does he run things?
Yeah, completely.
You've seen me at sausage.
I know.
He absolutely runs it all.
Smelt sausage.
That's what we called it.
And there was a lot of sausages there. So we were constantly getting told, and it wasn't just one person that said this. So when you meet a lot of people that are doing this, they're going, oh, it's the weight of the hose, pulling me back. Because there's a lot of hose at the top and it weighs. So when I was looking at this...
You haven't just got one hose, you've got the thin high pressure hose on the lance, and then you've got the thick high pressure hose coming from the machine, and that's the one. If you imagine you're 15 foot up in 15 meters?
Yeah, whatever it is.
No, 15 foot up in the air.
15 foot, so 4 meters.
Yeah. 15 foot up in the air. If you imagine you're that high up in the air, and you've also got 15 foot worth of high pressure hose pulling you back. You've got all that weight on the lance unnecessarily.
Well, imagine when you get the fatigue in your hands, and this is why people drop the poles off the top and why there's accidents. So I was sat around Progrip, and I was looking at this. In fact, there is a video, by the way. There's a video when we came up with the idea of this, we just haven't finished editing it.
Okay.
But we was looking at this and I said, I know what we need. And we need to fasten something on the top of the pole.
Light bulb moment.
Light bulb moment. Put this straight down, top of the pole, so you put your pole through this, your pole takes the tower takes the weight.
Window cleaning competition.
There's plenty of window cleaners here so they can crack on. So the idea was you can put this on your tower, but not only that, you can put it on your tower at the bottom, close the valve, fasten your hose up, build your tower so the hose naturally goes up with it, start your machine with this closed at the bottom, climb up your tower, and then you can plug in at the top.
So,
and that's why we'll just put it back down. This is built with not a full removable plate. It's built with the bottom end to take all the extra weight of the valve. So it's constructed so the valve sits inside, so when it pulls downwards it's got the maximum amount of material so it doesn't pull out.
Right, okay.
So if you was to mount it this way, for example, you could potentially pull those nuts and bolts out or fatigue it. This way, there's absolutely no way you'll get the valve out of that.
So the idea would be you mount this on top of the
tower,
and your high pressure hose goes into the bottom there, and then the hose from your high pressure pole
to your foot pedal or your trigger, or
could go into there.
If you're a person that kicks a ball in it,
Not that it's designed for
Not
that.
that it's designed for
But
that.
if someone
but you may
wanted to
choose to.
If someone wanted to use this ball valve as a trigger,
They could
they
do.
potentially could.
It does say on the product page that it's not designed to be used like that. And you should also you should always use it with a proper break off.
But just having that taking
should
the
make
weight
a
of
difference.
the hose.
It also means that
it's an absolute.
you can turn it off. So if you get a burst on your hose while you're up there, you're not going to try and, if you're one-man band, you're not going to race down with your hose snaking everywhere.
One man, that's
It's
is
a
an
game
absolute-
changer.
I don't want to. I'm not going to use the phrase.
It is
You
though.
can use it as much
No,
as
it
you
is.
like.
I don't like saying it, but these were clever, right? That's the daddy.
Should we have a little walk around and see what you've got?
Yeah. Well, why? It's still here.
We're good for battery.
We're good for battery.
Yeah, Zach, follow us
Right.
around
So
if you
let's have a
wouldn't
look at this one. Let's pull this one forward first.
mind. I've
Bring it
moved-
back out.
I've moved Darren's whole set around.
Let's
with
put the
permission.
beer back at the back. So that, Jake,
Is this
is
your
what
new
£1,000 plus that jet wash looks
one?
like.
Is this your new?
That's the core.
The core.
Is it the
Alpha
first
core?
time you've seen one in person?
And is this the powerhouse
engine.
Okay. So this is the cheaper engine,
Yes.
and you offer the Briggs and Stratton engine.
Yeah.
as
So
well.
this particular machine, £1,000 plus that, and you can have it with that engine there.
that one.
Yep. And the idea is we're trying to bridge the gap between the JCB stroke Hyundai, which I do believe is the best £1,000 machine you can buy, my opinion, with something that's somewhere between this and that.
So what you've done is taken, to keep the cost down, you've used a cheaper engine, but you've still got a recognised AR pump.
It's the next one up in the brand.
And the point with this machine is that
Return to tank.
you've got the return to tank bypass. Is that one there or that one?
It's that one, top one.
So the return to tank bypass is going to mean that the pump is going to keep recirculating the water, and it's not going to overheat. So every time you come off the trigger, the water starts coming out of here instead, and it goes back into your buffer tank. So the cheaper machines, generally around about the £1,000 mark and below,
Don't have it.
There's no return to tank bypass.
So if you use your imagination for a minute and go, this is good on wheels, imagine £1,000 if you're a bin cleaner, so we need to recycle all the time, have another skid for the same money.
Yeah.
You can have that Alpha Core straight on a standard Skid X.
And it just means that instead of like those cheaper machines where you come off the trigger and is the water recirculating in the pump?
Yes, that's why it gets hot. So the
it
engine gets hot and there's no cooling.
So if you're off the trigger for too long, you can end up just like melting or causing damage to your
So
pump.
that's why all of these bigger ones send it back to the tank, because they use the bigger tank of the water tank as their cooling tank, like the radiator. So then you come to the premium machine. So you could insert Honda GX390 there, or the Briggs & Stratton,
So that's 15 litres per minute.
or 19220.
Right.
But I reckon that the 19220 is actually a 21 litre, 275 bar pump. I think the powerhouse, because it's 15 horsepower, will get 21 litres, 230, 240 bar.
It's hard to test actual high pressure flow rate, isn't it?
Yes.
You can test low pressure flow rate quite easily.
You have to go off the nozzle size. So you work on the orifice size of the nozzle and the pressure, and go backwards to the chart.
Or you could fill up a bucket and
Doesn't work. Just go backwards with the chart. So if you look at the nozzle chart and pick an 05 nozzle, then look at the pressure. So I'm doing 225 bar with an 05 nozzle, and go backwards across the chart. It'll tell you how much is coming out at the end.
Right. Okay.
It's not exact science.
Hands off your hips.
Is you like this? That's all
He
right.
keeps telling me I'm quite anxious today, and I'm like fiddling
Oh,
with
yeah.
it. I'm doing all this. He says stop doing that.
Just don't be like some of my customers that stand there fiddling with their hoo-hoo.
That's what.
To be fair,
Are you a hoo-hoo fiddler? I'm not fiddling. Right, so
Wait, what's this one?
these are the premiums. So these
Okay.
are Briggs & Stratton electric starts. The reason why there's two identical machines is this one the customer's coming to collect, which is why there's a bag on it. But the one you're touching has just sold a couple of minutes ago. So
And am I right in saying you can get an electric start Briggs for a similar price as a pull start?
correct.
Honda?
That's why they're so popular.
Right. And the Briggs has got the recirculation. Can you?
It's got low. So it hasn't got the decompression valve.
Okay.
So when the Honda, when you pull it, then it snaps your finger off. It's the decompression valve that's deep inside that's gone faulty. These don't have it. Makes them slightly more difficult to start as a pull start engine, But as an electric start, it doesn't matter. That's why electric starts are taking over the world.
And again, it comes with all the fancy stuff, the return to tank bypass and the easy start valve. So when you're generally...
we can talk about fancy stuff on this. So
go on.
we altered the frames. So there's two key versions of these two-wheel frames. One that's got completely straight down legs and one that goes to complete V with a single wheelbarrow. But they do it in this. And what happens if you touch the front corner on a single V?
I love my little wheelbarrow because it likes to tip over in the van.
Yeah. And what happens with the straight ones? They get knocked sideways because there's no strength in them.
Right.
So we went for the dual foot.
The
twin foot, tapered. We then went for tie down points so you can strap it to the bottom of your van. I don't know why they all don't include it. So see the slit on the side?
Oh yeah.
You just put your straps to it, strap it in your van.
That's what I'm missing off of mine.
I don't know why they don't do it as standard. Honestly, I don't.
Leave mine up through here.
Yeah, nonsense.
That's such
these holes here are for an up and over hose reel because it's a universal frame. Second?
Did you think of that tie down strap?
Yes.
That was your idea?
There's a long story about why this frame is so different, and I will explain it off camera.
That's a great idea.
So the other thing we don't talk about is you can probably just see there's some extra holes in this frame there. So these are exactly the same frame if you have a boiler on it. It's no bigger.
Yeah.
Boiler sits on it, fuel tank at the back. So we make one frame, fits a lot. So we call this our A2, that's our C2. So you can have this engine on the C2 frame. C stands for Chinese.
Does it?
That is actually cool. But it was from China. So then we moved to our most popular selling cold water machine. This bad boy here, we sold something like 250 of these units last year.
So this would be a van mounted system, high pressure reel on top. You'd generally have...
If you give me a moment, if you want me to talk through anything, I'll happily talk through it with you.
He's off having another conversation.
No worries, I'm going to overview this one, so I'll just upsell him in the middle of the feed, mate. It's got to be done.
So you'd have a water tank mounted behind, generally?
So this is really popular on the side door of like a transit size van.
I'm conscious about having my hand on the hip now.
So this is normally fitted side door. And then what they do then is they have a 250 tall that's this wide, sat here against the bulkhead, and they strap that to the bulkhead of the van. Yeah. It means then that they've got the rest of the van empty. So this is basically an A2 bolted in the smallest frame possible to give the smallest footprint with a 60 metre hose. And we do little neat things like hang the battery underneath our hose reel.
That's posh. That's posh. Little battery there.
If I told you that it took a long time to make all the components interchangeable, because this battery tray here is the same battery tray that's under there, that's the same. This is the same skid that fits on the same plates to try and get to the point where we've got common parts across machines.
Are all of these Briggs engines? You haven't brought any Hondas?
I didn't have chance. We've got one powerhouse.
Do you prefer the Briggs?
If I'm buying a pull start, I'll buy a pull start Honda. If I'm an electric start, I'll have an electric start Briggs.
Interesting.
So I think that the Briggs has got better features, but because they're built for the current emission regulations, they can be a bit of a pig to pull start.
Right.
So if you don't have the choke in exactly the right place first time, you can be messing around with the Hondas
while you've got one hand on the trigger trying to...
And the Hondas, once they've been used a little bit, you only got to sneeze on them. Any wimp can start a Honda and they start.
You've only got to sneeze on them.
Do you know what I mean? And they'll start. The point I'm getting at is the Hondas are very easy starters. The pull start Briggs, in my opinion, isn't so.
Okay.
But the electric start is the engine to have for many reasons. It's got a nice filler on it, proper air filter. So you've seen the paper elements in the Hondas, haven't you? The little foam ones.
I haven't, no.
So they have a proper air filter like a car.
Oh, right.
Dipstick. See if you can find the dipstick. He's not stood there, over there.
There he is.
There he is. So down the back here, you've got a dipstick.
Terrible dad joke.
So you can check your oil level with a proper dipstick. So we've got a filler, we've got a dipstick, we've got the air filter. Also, there's a one switch operation on this, so when you turn this off, it also turns the fuel off. So I bet Jakey never ever turns the fuel off on his Honda.
Neither of us do, we leave them on.
Yeah, but you should do, because as you bounce around in the van, the little float chamber underneath here goes up and down, it lets more and more fuel in, it fills up, runs into your engine, which is why your engine will never run out of oil. because it's growing with petrol. And as the petrol's then thinning your oil.
Can it also flood it?
Yes, and flood it and make it difficult to start.
I wonder if that's making my 630 difficult to start.
Yeah, all of that.
Like,
turn it off.
Okay.
Turn the fuel off. So anyway, this is good because you can turn it off. That turns the fuel off too. Okay, love it. Now this
Alpha BM van mount.
This
never heard of the BM.
This BM.
BM.
Are you ready for this? BM launched today.
Launch what?
This is officially launched today.
Oh look, you've got a 3D printer, a B long run. What's that?
Briggs.
Look at this, Zach. Is that a solenoid on there? What's that? I don't understand. I don't know what's going on here.
I'll let him try and work it out first.
Distributor.
That's fuel. Fuel.
It's a distributor, isn't it?
Fuel goes into there, and then why is the fuel going in different directions?
It's a fuel pump.
Why is it pumping in different directions?
Right,
is there one return?
It has to go to a breather on the engine.
That was a breather, right.
So,
how much battery we got left?
Standing.
We got good battery.
You're starting to run out.
This has got to be like one of these, isn't it? Yeah, the thumbnail to the video. So, let's talk about this for a second. I keep getting asked for that machine, but with 2 hose reels.
Yeah, I can see why.
And then, since we've had all the recent fires, keep getting asked for a solution to the fires. And you know from your V-twin, remote fuel tank is load safer.
Yeah.
Nobody does a remote fuel tank kit for the Briggs & Stratton. So we've pioneered this.
This is a modification so that you've not got the fuel tank next to the exhaust.
This is the fuel tank here.
Filling it up when it's hot, you're going to risk
like on your Honda,
exhaust. Whereas this one, you've made a completely different mount so that you can put.
And now it's 20 litres, so it'll run all day. Yeah, so instead of having a 5 litre, 7 litre tank, 20 litre tank.
That's a great idea.
Now it will come out, but it's designed really to be filled in situ.
Brilliant.
Do you know what I mean? So, using our Progrip connections,
nice.
Made our own plate for the back. We do a H long run kit for Honda, but Daniel missed the memo, and the B should have been on the underside, so we know which one it is, not the customer.
Yeah.
But we were laughing last night because if I told you that this came off the printer at 11 p.m. last night, and I finished building this at 2 a.m. this morning.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Right, yes, but it's not got any. Look, it's not got the hoses that connect it up yet. So shh. This is what we call YouTube finished.
And how can you do a smelty guarantee that these low pressure hose reels don't leak? Because I'm sick of leaky low pressure hose reels.
Yeah, so it's to do with this. So they'll only leak here, right? So where this goes in here, which is the swivel fitting. So these are quality swivel fittings. I am changing these up a little bit where they're going to sit in bearings. So, but I'm going to keep the same reels. I'm going to keep the same drums. But before I do that, I've been asked to make an electric version of these, where the motor sits inside. But yeah, they shouldn't leak. The problem we've got at the moment is I need to buy tapered fittings to go in here. So we've found, depending on which one of our assemblers builds it, because some people are better than others, story of life, even with our engineers, some are better than others. If they don't appropriately use the right amount of PTFE and sealer, that fitting can leak.
Right.
So I need to buy a different type of fitting to go in there like we do for the high pressure. So the high pressures, because they have to have a tapered thread, else they leak too.
Okay.
So let's talk about the the BM. That's what the BM stands for, Jake. Do you know what PB stands for?
Plenty of. No, I don't know.
Smart exclusive. Poor boy. It's for everybody that wanted the big. We started codename Poor Boy when we made that.
Ball boy.
Poor boy.
Okay.
We built the compact first.
Oh man.
Close. So we built the compact first, right? And everybody kept coming in. I really want this, but without the boiler and without this. So we're like, you want the poor man's version then, do you?
Poor man, sorry.
So we did the poor boy.
Right.
Right. Well, of course, when we...
You said ball boy?
No, PB, poor boy.
How are we doing for battery? I think we might need to wrap it up. Can we go and look at the trailer real quick? And then
that's the most interesting thing.
Go on then.
Right, so anyway, 2 hose reels. We did the long run tank on this, but the next thing we did is we beefed the frame up so that instead of having a fixed strap at the back. You can swap and change your tanks as you need to.
Yep.
So we made it so that you strap the frame down
Great idea.
really tightly, and the frame's really strong.
Great idea.
So that it will take the weight with the straps. You have appropriately weight rated straps.
Put a bigger tank on if you want.
500 on.
You can put a soft wash tank on the back and strap
whatever
that
you
in as
need.
well. Really good idea.
So that was the innovations. Let's go do the trailer.
Right.
We'll hit that again anyway. BM stands for Boss Man because it is the Boss Man.
There's your JCB that you've rebuilt.
I want somebody to come and buy it. I want somebody to come and buy it today.
And then this is the trailer. We've got all the Progrip stuff over here. All the foot pedals. Look at these fancy. I like the packaging.
I love the packaging. Can you tell Progrip's got a higher budget than PWS for packaging?
And then you just got a massive hoard of bits and bobs.
This is the shop.
This is like a pressure washer's dream. This is. Yeah.
Hey, Darren.
Like this.
Yeah, come on in. Welcome to my crib.
I was looking at one of these earlier, Darren. The Vario adjuster. So when you're pressure washing, you can just adjust the pressure as you go in, so you can turn it up and down. Really good for roof cleaning. Really good for foot pedals.
No, we bought all of the quick release
What else
stuff.
we got? We've got twin turbo adapters for your lances. We've got twin lances. You've got your fuel filters. You've got, what's that one? Mini lance. Oh, bendy lance. That looks dangerous. Bendy lance. I've never seen one of them.
Is John going full sail?
Why do you need a bendy lance?
I saw them and I thought, I got Jakey.
Oh, look at that.
I got Jakey in mind with this one, and I thought, Jakey in the morning, Jakey at night,
Bigger than that.
Jakey when Mrs. Jake's around. Do you know what? I saw them and I thought,
Oh, you're selling the
high flow.
high flow float valves. So these are great for making your.
I'm getting hollered.
These are great for making your buffer tanks. How much are they? Oh yeah,
It says 20 quid on it. Yeah. Including the VAT, that's actually a bargain.
Yeah, it is.
See, this is the next evolution for you. Full stainless steel guns.
All right.
So they don't wear as much around this edge. So what nobody talks about yet is the fact that these brass couplings here do wear.
They do
long
leak.
use.
They eventually leak as well.
So what happens is your, that's a special one John's done, isn't it? That way, of course. They get the ball bearings, put a ridge on. Do you remember that video I did?
Yeah.
And then that rips the seals and makes them leak. But once it starts doing that, your brass in here is also wearing too.
All right. Right, I think we should wrap it up because we're about to run out of battery.
You're out of battery. Everyone, they're queuing up. Look for me. This is
Thanks so
slow
much
today.
for showing us around.
Thank you, Jakey.
Nice little podcast to start the day.
Give us a little smile for the thing.
Oh no, mine's a bit like this.
Right, thanks, Darren.
Cheers, mate. Right.